Details, but here are the overall numbers year to date. In the city of Dallas, we have had 29 ATM offenses. There's been 29 ATM offenses where the bad guys have gone into location for the sole purpose of taking the ATM machine. 11 of those attempts were successful. Those were actually 11 of 29 were successful, where the bad guy was able to get in, get the ATM, and leave the location. In 18 attempts, they were unsuccessful. They were either thwarted through the inability to dislodge the ATM from it being bolted to the ground. They took longer than they planned to, but there was an audible alarm. But for whatever reason, in 18 cases of the 29, they were unsuccessful, and the ATM stayed at the location. So I'll go over 29 total offenses, 18 attempts, and only 11 where they actually got away with the ATM, and that's including last night's offense. So hopefully that's a little clarification on those numbers. Now, there were some outlets that had asked me for specifics on smash and grabs, because one of those numbers that I'm reporting is those are offenses where people have gone and cut into the ATM and taken its contents. Therefore, it still constitutes the felony 2 theft of an ATM offense, but they didn't actually smash into the building. So those are the numbers. I'm going to go over the 2 most recent offenses that we hadn't reported on yet, and then I'm going to go into some of the method that we're using to target these the suspects that we believed are involved, and how you guys can do your part or continue to do your part, what we've asked from some of the citizens, and then what my detectives are doing. So now back to the 702 North Buckner. Offense occurred this morning, 1:52 a.m. Another example of a citizen who is made aware that they understand the types of offenses we've been dealing with. They've read y'all's reports. They've seen your stories. And so this witness observed a vehicle that he saw circling the business. He thought it to be suspicious, kept his eye on it, didn't look away from it, wound up smashing into the building. We have a video I hope to show you of the suspects. 2 of them out of the vehicle. They actually get the ATM, throw it into the back of the truck, and then they're off northbound. Well, that witness was able to contact 911 just as soon as he saw the offense occurred, and a combination of this witness just having his his A game on, seeing the offense occur, getting on the phone with dispatch, and then dispatch starts narrating to our patrol officers, who we're in regular discussions with those patrol officers about monitoring some of the bad guys that are on our radar, some of the safes and the ATM, the branches, and the mom and pop stores that seem to be a popular hit for these groups. So they were within 30 seconds of the offense, the suspects leaving the location. They were on a vehicle that matched the description. They got behind the vehicle, small chase ensued. They were able to radio for other uniformed support. Suspects fled on foot. 2 of the 3 were taken into custody. On the offense that occurred last Friday, this one is at 1838 South Buckner Boulevard. At approximately 4:30 a.m., this is at a Chase Bank. The suspect in this particular offense didn't smash and grab. He actually went up to the pedestal ATM machine and used what we call a concrete grinder saw, circular saw, and started grinding into the sidewall of the Chase of the ATM. After several attempts to grind through it, he finally activated the silent alarm system inside of the ATM, the automated teller machine, which activated Chase's headquarters, and security personnel were able to wire into a live feed and see the offense occurring. So they immediately got on with dispatch. Dispatch winds up narrating out to our uniformed officers, this time at Southeast Patrol, and again, patrol officers do an excellent job of being in the right place or in the vicinity. We're able to get behind that suspect, and after a small chase and foot chase, take him into custody. This is 3 arrests within the last 6 days by our patrol officers. 3 different suspects all of who follow the same process. When we arrest them, we bring them down to our office for a debrief, and I can't stress enough how the timeliness of these patrol officers, the quick dissemination of information, them being in the right place at the right time, puts us in the best position during our debrief to be able to interview with them, let them know what it is we know, let them know what we're looking for, and see what parts of the puzzle they can fill in for us. In almost every case, they're willing to give us some pretty good information that really builds to us identifying the entire network of these offenses that have really, they've spread throughout the entire country. So when you combine the work of the police officers and our detectives really asking the right questions and being able to put these people in a position where they know the gig's up, they know that we've been watching them, they know that we're on to them, they fill in a big part of the puzzle for us. But then the other two parts, which are probably just as important, if not more, is the information that you continually put out there really gets these citizens to it's the difference between them seeing something and doubting whether it may or may not be something, is suspicious or is not suspicious, and them recognizing that it is suspicious, it is consistent with the stories that you're putting out there. And then they contact the police and dispatch, and then ultimately we get into the same position. So can't stress enough how important it is that we continue to exchange this information. You continue to keep it in the public's, on the front of their, I guess, of their thoughts, so that we can continue to get our hotline activated. I can't stress how much our tip line only rings when we do these reports, or when you contact me directly, and a lot of you, I'm shipping information to you as you're asking for it. But it's no coincidence. Our tip line only activates when we push the information out to you guys. And this city, I've said this before, Dallas is one of the best cities for patrolling its communities, its convenience stores, its mom and pop communities, its smaller individual businesses on its own. The citizens are fed up with it, and they know that a lot of these suspects are they're looking for a quick score. They have the potential to make a few $1,000s, but they're causing $10,000 worth of damage. It doesn't make sense, and I think the citizens know that. And as long as we kind of work together in that sense, it really makes our job easier. We've had an incredible amount of tips come into our office, good leads, people who have information that we know is accurate because there's stuff we hadn't released that they know about. So it's not a science. It's basically us just working together on multi fronts. The police department, I believe, has done an excellent job of, we talked about centralizing these crimes. We have them all coming to the exact same location. There is no concern of overlapping information or of information falling through the cracks or us missing a lead or a tip. We have that information centralized. I believe that if we work hand in hand and continue to put out good, accurate information, our detectives do their part. We disseminate, make sure that our deployment officers and our patrol officers are in the right place and in the vicinity, and just really sharing the exact information, communicating effectively. We're going to continue to have success here.